Welcome back to Life is Moronic. So yeah,
Yes, it is.
every time we get into a new episode, the background in the title screen changes. So I wanted to show that. In the meantime, yes, in true episodic fashion, we have a previously on insert thing here.
What the fuck?
But he could be talking about photography.
Or have you done something wrong? Talk to me.
Hey, Victoria.
What do you want, Max?
I see everything here at Blackwell. Do you understand?
It's almost like they conveniently cut these out so that they don't have to recap the choices that we made.
Well, I guess it would be really hard to maybe create a montage, an in-game montage of all that stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with this. Whatever. It's
Plenty
just a
of
recap.
games have managed to do that before, though. Like, it's
I
a
guess
bit baffling, but alas.
it's because these recaps are actually movie files. So I don't know, like maybe, or maybe just because they just want to recap the most important points rather than just recapping.
Tell me the truth.
I don't know.
That's an order.
I didn't black out. I had another vision. The town is going
Like,
to
maybe I'm misremembering and some later ones will actually show the choices that you made, but it just feels weird. Like, again, normally in a game like this, they do recap the choices that you made.
I already read this.
Yeah,
so.
whatever, small potatoes
Yeah, it's
compared to what's in store.
It's like how in V for the Journey, sometimes they played, the previously on the Journey thing, they played like the wrong clips.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you can press A to snooze, and the problem is by snooze they mean wake up. I get.
Wait, hold on.
That's common.
My guess is that they're referring to you hitting the snooze button on your alarm.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, snooze buttons on alarms. That's usually what you do to stop it from ringing.
I guess usually over here it's just the stop button, but whatever.
Okay, basically the stop button is used to like stop it completely, but the snooze is to stop it temporarily, in case you're still feeling groggy, and then it will later turn back on to give you another jolt awake.
But yeah, unlike the previous episode, this second one will, at the very least throughout its first half, be more focused on Kate. So we're going to finally find out exactly what's been going on with that whole porn video thing that we've heard about.
In episode 2, Out of Time.
Yes.
If only it was called In Time, I could have made so many time puns like the movie did.
Isn't the title Out of Time a time pun itself?
Yeah, like, that film is full of such weird lines. Like, you know what they say then? Follow the time.
I feel like there is a movie called Out of Time as
I
well.
still need a shower.
And the mafia analog is called the Minutemen.
This is what happens when you research quantum physics all night.
Yes, there was one. In
Go ahead,
2003.
Jova.
Got a bail, master.
Like I
Breakfast is
said,
a go.
always for
There,
you,
Mad
smiley
Max?
face. Yeah, it's smiley face.
No emoji.
I'll be there.
Meet me at diner in 40.
On
Don't
my
not
way.
be late. I'll know time is not on your side. Don't get high like my noon.
Also, you there, hippie.
What up about... Oh my god, this... Okay, look. I get that some people talk weird. However, here's the thing. Normally, there is some logic to the lingo here. This don't feel like logic. Like, I can at least explain why somebody calls someone that they find hot a tall drink of water, but I can't make heads or tails of this dialogue.
Yeah, or eat an ass buster breakfast at Two Whales. And I can there's a
let me
diner
put it
called
like
Two
this.
Whales.
Like, for example, when somebody asks, hey, what's this tall drink of water? They call someone they find hot a tall drink of water because they're thirsty for them. It's simple like that.
And yeah, the running gag between Max and Chloe's texts is that Max loves using emojis, but Chloe hates emojis. She's also saying, no emoji! I'm not kidding, this is basically the running gag.
And mind you, I know some people may say, well, I just use slang myself, that some people may tilt their heads at. And yes, while some people may tilt their heads at that, I refer to what Shiroi mentioned in the previous few parts about this dialogue here. It's not even consistent with the logic in which the characters are using said dialogue. So it's almost like the characters themselves don't know what they're saying half the time.
You are evil.
Special
It's
mention
like they
goes...
searched up. It's like they searched up a bunch of slang words online and threw darts at them. It's like, oh, we can put this one in this sentence, and it's like,
Yeah, put that in. Teenagers will get it.
Wait,
it's like
wait.
these words have meaning even if they sound silly, and it's like you can't even put them in the right context.
Also, yeah, that bit again about the mother who said that the principal said this was a serious false charge.
Oh.
Yeah, a false charge that you apparently took seriously enough still to take the kid in and lecture about him. Like, again, if he's a scummy principal, why didn't he just go all the way and not even bother lecturing the kid?
And by the way, that song that was playing on the radio, that was licensed music that caused this particular part to be blocked in a couple countries, specifically France, Monaco, basically various minor countries involved where French is the primary language, basically.
You're saying France is a minor country.
No, I said France and a few minor countries.
Lauren is
Anyway, MX, the doctor is in the house. I've been thinking long and hard about your request. I sent you a bunch of physics and science things for doctor. Basically, ever since she got her rewind powers, Max has been doing some research on quantum physics. Basically, any kind of science that studies this kind of shit. Basically.
So what you're saying, Pedro, is that we should get her a copy of Quantum Break.
Also, look at that. Look at that at the end of this. Don't hit. I'm leaving. Doctor Who? Question mark?
I don't get it.
It's funny, Dwebs.
Wait. You seriously didn't get that one?
No, because it doesn't make any sense.
It's funny, it's funny, goddammit, laugh!
Okay, don't get me wrong.
The only thing I can think of that's worse than how this game does it is when the show itself does it.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. It's a terrible joke, but I'm surprised you didn't at least get it.
Join the Chrononauts.
I get it, German, but I don't get it at the same time.
Hey, Shiroi, welcome to the wonderful world of the wormhole.
So Pedro, you think Max would love the game Quantum Break?
Should I sign?
Knowing her shit taste in sci-fi, probably.
Halloween. Dana is not messing around.
Don't you see, though, that's a game that would speak to her. Suddenly getting time travel powers.
And honestly, that game is so devoid of character that I'm even having trouble. At least with this game, I can tell who this would be relatable to, like dumb teenagers who still, are in that, stupid phase, But Quantum Break, I have no fucking clue who the hell that game was made for. I mean, sci-fi fans, I guess, but it's such badly written sci-fi that any sci-fi fan would probably just immediately call crap on it.
The game that feels like it's trying to go for sci-fi or MCU-esque heroism here and there, it is quite a mesh.
Again, okay. Oh, here's another bit of the running gag with Alyssa. There you go. Okay, who the hell throws a piece of toilet, a roll of toilet paper out the door of the bathroom? Who does that?
Alyssa, can you stand over there?
Is this an alternate universe where every single person behaves like an alien?
Wait, hold on. So, I'm guessing that person wasn't even trying to hit her, they just threw the toilet paper out?
Yeah, the person wasn't even looking at where she froze the toilet paper. Also, what's a boy doing here? This is the girls' dorm. Yeah, basically that guy, that's
Maybe is it a co-ed?
No, basically Dana has a new boyfriend, basically.
Macking on those bros.
Anyway, but yeah, I have no idea why that girl just threw that toilet paper out. If it wasn't to throw it at Alyssa, why? That toilet paper looked perfectly fine.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. There's this running gag of Alyssa having bad luck and we have to help her with our rewind ability. I get the running gag, but at least have her bad luck make sense. It's who that. Have you ever? What would even be the logic of someone being in the bathroom and randomly opening or just throwing the toilet paper out for no reason. Like,
Oh, I tell you, if she'd have done that in 2020, she and that bout of toilet paper would have been tackled, and then somebody would have stolen the toilet
Now I
paper.
feel like an ass.
in the meantime, okay, so these two were sharing the video, but since we were nice to Juliet yesterday, we can indeed convince her to stop sharing the video. What is the video? Basically, you'll see.
Dad, my mind works in devious ways too.
Glad to see
Makes
you
me
back
wonder
in
if we
action.
can. Oh
have a
wait,
good
then
heart,
never
Max.
mind.
And I won't watch Kate's video anymore.
Like, you would think we'd also be able to convince, Victoria as well, because we apparently made
Sure.
nice with her
Talk to you
yesterday,
later.
too. But I guess
I'm not
that would
watching
just
the
be
video,
too
Max.
simple.
Don't you just hate it when you're passing through a bathroom door and suddenly someone opens the door randomly and throws a piece of toilet paper? That's just like,
Like,
I'm sorry,
I
like,
get this may be happening on, like, a random level in a platformer game or something, but
yeah,
this is not a wacky, cartoony game like that.
no. Supposedly, we're trying to sell these people as, real characters, supposedly.
What are you doing?
Speaking of which, how about a
I'm
deep
here.
moment with our good
yeah,
friend
here's
Up
Kate.
for me yesterday.
So let's see what it's
I
about.
needed that. Anytime. That guy has issues. Doesn't everybody here? By the way, Max, do
Wow.
you still have my copy
Poignant.
of the October Country? Oh, yes, of course. It's great so far. I didn't realize Bradbury was such a poet. Can you please bring it back to my room this morning? I just need to take some notes for class. Absolutely.
Okay, then.
I'll bring it by later.
Alright, now, in true French gang fashion, time for a shower scene.
Why
is
is
this-
this
is this-
necessary?
Is this common in French media?
I don't know.
It seems to be. Like, heck, even in the cartoony game.
Okay. To be fair, unlike with David Cage, the focus is not on the shower itself, but instead what's going to happen while she's showering, actually. Outside of the showers, to be fair. Although, yes, they do take advantage, they do have those shots of Max, those typical Cage-esque shots while Max is showering, still. Oh, great. Mean Girls, Life is Strange edition.
That's it. That video of you clubbing didn't look like homework.
Victoria, that wasn't me.
So yeah, there's a video in the Vortex Club party of Kate, basically twerking and kissing some random
I'm
guys.
going to be sorry someday.
Making out with some random guys.
I'm sorry you're a viral slut. I'm sure she had fun. Looks like it. I know Nathan hooked her up. And you know he has the good shit. Preach it.
Yeah, and as you can see from that line, it's implied that Nathan apparently dosed her.
All over my face.
Because as you can probably guess, Kate is not exactly that type of girl.
Me a towel. We ran all the way. Give it a rest, Taylor. Now I know if I'm in an accident, I won't rely on you or Courtney for help. You can hang out with Kate. Or Max.
Oh my god. Yeah, Victoria is not a character. She's a cartoon, as Duez would put it.
Hey, here is part
She
of the
sucks.
She's a weirdo with that.
Yeah, that's the thing she was. She's a cartoon, and not even a fun cartoon. Go on.
Here's the
Anyway,
issue with
Let's
this.
leave the link to Kate's video
One,
so
they're
everybody
trying to
gets a chance
act
see
very
her in
intricate
action.
with these characters, but
such an
we
evil
do not
bitch.
know
hold
nearly
on.
enough about this.
Evil
because the focus
biatch.
is mainly on Max.
Yeah.
Like, the focus is mainly on Max. Like, so this bout here, I don't really resonate with it. Now, maybe they could just go with making her a cartoonish, over-the-top Regina George-esque villain, but she fails at that too, because, look, Regina George was pretty much the flipping Sith of high school, to the point where she had an entire all-out girls' brawl in a cafeteria.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you erase that thing?
Yes, you can. I'm about to.
Even
Okay.
if I can stop.
No, that's the thing. And did you notice how her friend Taylor, Victoria's friend, was even going, God, you're such an evil biatch. She even said biatch. Like, this is what evil people, this is what bullies do. They remark how evil they are, You see, this is the big problem with this game. The writing is so cartoonish in a game that's supposedly trying to, have an actual proper, story with, and trust me, this is not even trying to be something like Mean Girls. Trust me, this is genuinely going to try to tackle the topic of bullying, trauma, all that stuff. So trust me, this is not trying to be a comedy, and that's why Victoria's writing feels so out of place.
You wanna know what's sad? I'm gonna argue that Mean Girls actually handled these topics far better than the story
Well,
actually does.
that's because Mean Girls have more of a sense of humor about itself in comparison to something like this.
Well, not just that, but it also arguably handled some of the more serious topics better too. It did show the consequences of trying to fit in at the expense of belittling other people or trying
Also,
to get
Mean
ahead.
Girls
in
knew
regard.
that like everybody was shit. So
Hey,
That
Shiro.
too, yeah.
Also, nobody messes with me, bitch. Oh,
No fucking way.
okay.
This
Wait.
is not why I came to
Okay. How?
do you people okay, like this is a shit thing to do and all, but do your rooms not have locks or some shit?
Okay,
Yeah,
Max, now,
true.
all right, Max.
Oh,
Now
shit.
rewind.
Nathan's
Then wait for the culprit to come in.
Even Chloe told me not
That's
to
the
do
problem,
it.
Lips. You cannot do that. Even if you try rewinding, the game will never let you rewind that far. Because the game is trying to keep a mystery of who did this. You see? Yeah, and this is... And Dwibs already made a good find. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about when it comes to the time travel powers. I'm okay with Max having time travel powers, but you should be... But you have to be careful when you're writing a story with this plot device, because it's very easy to fuck up and create plot
She
holes.
just spilled soda on Kate's book.
Oh, but we can rewind to fix that.
Oh, that we can
So
fix.
hang on, wait a minute. We can't find the culprit for something, but we can rewind to get wine off a book.
Yep.
Not only that,
Be gone,
but
foul
I
soul.
mean, again, I don't remember if it's
Aha, you
explained
see.
how the culprit got in, but if it's not,
It's not.
yeah, how the hell did the culprit get into a locked room?
Okay, basically, Shiroi, I'm not going to tell you who the culprit is yet because, mystery and all, but let's just say when we do find out who the culprit is, it's going to be
Drama game.
raise questions. How did the culprit manage to do this without it being seen and with that short a time that person had?
Now, for the sake of argument,
Maybe I'll just put on a
maybe
shirt.
all the kids
Hey, I
thought,
decided
oh,
to
tee hee
send
hee
that
hee hee,
suit
how
for
funny would that
everybody
be
to
if Max finds
And
it,
he
so
didn't even
they
lie.
didn't rat out the culprit? But all the same, still again, no sign of forced entry.
Also,
We
Shiroi,
don't really get any hint as to how it got in.
Now I can
It feels
finally
like it's
pick
just
this
done
back
for
to
drama's
before
sake,
night.
without any of the thought
As if
patterns.
I
Yeah,
to
basically.
ended up being
properly
real.
build up to it.
I do have
Yeah,
all
Pedro?
the time.
what do you think of the whole toilet paper being thrown out of the door thing? Has that ever happened to? Has that ever happened to you? People throwing rolls of toilet paper randomly.
Okay, a lot of our schools around here, and I mean like not college, secondary school / high school, the toilets weren't allowed to be open outside of breaks. Put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. but
Also,
why throw
They were
toilet paper?
locked for student access until break times.
Also, while comparing what happened yesterday, Max was saying that it was like Battle Royale, but without the dystopia and the exploding heads. No, Max. Even if it was like that, it would definitely be much more entertaining than what we have right now. So,
Also-
hold on, Shiro. Private message. Dubs, that's you.
Keep your smart mouth shut about everything, or I'm coming for your ass. I know where you sleep.
So someone puts that paints that message in our wall and gives us a private yeah.
Now I'm getting
Okay,
all this
so here's the
from
problem. The
hold
story
on.
goes on that
This has to be from Nathan.
So yeah,
Okay,
Max suspects it's Nathan.
I better be doubly careful.
Okay,
around here.
here's the issue I have with
Serious
this. If it's Nathan, why is the story constantly saying that it must be Nathan, yet keeping the identity secret?
I bet it's David.
Also, that writing that someone wrote, "Will bang for God." Like, I find it interesting how, you could make plenty of jokes about how she's a slut because of that video, but instead they also join in the God thing for some reason. It's so weird. Like,
I
what?
think it's because she's a Christian as well.
Well, I get that. I get that, but what does that have to do with what she did in the video?
Well, it's because, they think she's one of those Christians who was like,
left out
all in it for God. And, basically, it's them mocking her for her Christianity along with the fact that they think that she's apparently,
I guess.
Oh,
No, Spirit Devil could have prepared me for what you have done in that videotape. And like a Jezebel, you release your harlot image versus God's eye. I will pray with my church for you, blah, blah, blah. So basically...
Get it? Because that's how Christians talk, am I right?
Trust me, Shiro, believe it or not, this is foreshadowing for Life is Strange 2.
That bunny looks traumatized.
Oh, Shiro, guess what? Kate's bunny is a she. And the bunny's name is Alice. So you see, Shiro, Alice has got it wrong. So Alice has got it wrong, Shiro. She shouldn't be a cat. She should be a bunny.
Get it? It's Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Alyssa and Stella.
So yeah, apparently Kate is friends with Alyssa and Stella.
Let me guess, the school misfits.
Kind of, yeah. And the light shines in darkness, and the darkness comes, yeah, blah, blah. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of Bible verses in this thing, in this particular part of the story. Katie will always be brought by stuck against the dark, hugs and love, pop. Okay, at least Daddy here is a bit more, nice.
So let me guess, Mom's dead, Aunt's a bitch, Dad's fine.
No, actually her entire family is fine. Like,
Wait. So then what was up with that letter that her aunt...
apparently her pastor...
That's what she did.
Apparently it's her pastor who sent that letter, I think.
Kate even makes notes of
No, I mean, it literally says that it's from her aunt.
Oh, is it aunt? Okay, fine. So the aunt is a bitch. Okay. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. The reason I'm reading this is because, believe it or not, this is actually going to be important in the climax of episode 2. Believe it or not. So it actually does help if you go and read her favorite verses. When justice is done, blah, 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 yeah. Bad things happen to bad people. Yeah, we know. Basic stuff.
Okay,
go on.
For her, this must be a pigsty.
people want to leak this video or whatever, and we don't even know the contents.
That's the thing, Shiro. The game will never show us this video. Now, I understand that... Sorry, go on, Shiro, sorry.
Because it's not about seeing the contents, because no. It's more about, like, everybody's going around bragging. It's like, oh, we have this, we're gonna share it. You're all admitting to this. There are also some plenty of witnesses. Leaking that video is highly illegal, if I'm not wrong.
Actually, no, Shiro. Okay. Well, actually, Shiro. Whoever put the video online put it publicly. So let's for example, someone puts the video on YouTube or whatever. I mean, it's not illegal to pass up the link to a public YouTube video. I mean, you can argue that you're being mean for doing this, but technically, there's nothing illegal about sharing a video from a public video from YouTube.
If it's of a sexual nature and without the person's permission, yes, it's very illegal.
Oh, is it? Well, won't those videos immediately removed by the YouTube staff anyway?
So, what's the story with you?
I don't know. But, Pedro, does YouTube have staff? What?
Well, yeah, good point.
What staff?
Anyway, the point is, as you can see, ever since this happened, Kate has been a victim of constant bullying and mocking. Yeah.
I know this sucks, Kate, but tell me about the video and...
Although, what Pedro said about the video is something that does come into mind with this game. I'm not gonna throw a fit that they never show the video, but it is a recurring issue where people will constantly refer to this, refer to that, yet we'll never get to see the thing in question that caused this or that. It's like if an entire bout of story was made off of noodle incidents, as TV tropes put it.
To be fair,
big incidents that are referred to but never actually elaborated on.
To be fair, they gave a basic description. Basically, she got high because someone dosed her, and she started twerking and making out with random boys. Apparently, that's as far as it went. Apparently, based on what people say about it. So we have a basic description of it.
Yeah, and that much is fine. But I'm referring to how this is sort of a signifier for bigger points in the story where they do go, this or that. I think the biggest point is about the Rachel Amber stuff. Like, again, that stuff was left vague enough that they had to make an entire game for it.
Okay, I will argue there's nothing wrong with leaving something Like for example, like you yourself.
No. I'm not saying that it's inherently wrong to do something vague. What I mean is like, well, for as much as they focus on it, it's bad that they keep it vague.
Fair. Well, okay. I'm guessing maybe didn't really want to properly show the video because they figured maybe it was probably make the game a bit controversial to do so.
No. I wasn't talking about the video at that point. I was talking more so about the stuff with Rachel.
Oh, Rachel. Well, you saw Yurik's video on Life is Strange before the Storm Drove, I'm guessing, right? Like he himself said in that video, sometimes it's good for a character to be shrouded in mystery and built up as this, figure, because when you try to properly take the mystery veil out of that character, then you have to actually live up to people's expectations of that character that the first game set up, and that's going to probably backfire on you unless you have some serious great writing to back yourself up.
I suppose, to be fair, I feel like it was kind of about where they felt pressure to, because,
I'll check back later, okay?
Again, yes, in some cases you don't need to. I do feel like this story does not facilitate its mystery as well, though, to the point where, yeah, that's why people actually did want to see Rachel in bouts here and there. Again, a good story does get you thinking, but it doesn't feel incomplete without elaborating on that, because sometimes the mystery is the point of it. This story, on the other hand, feels like they really get into the nitty-gritty on Rachel, to the point where some people are thinking that we were going to get a prequel, made also by Don't Nod.
Okay, so... So, should we go to the police or look for proof? I'm gonna go with go to the police, even though logically we should first look for proof. However, there's going to be, if I want to do a specific thing at the end of this episode, I have to pick this moronic choice. Why do I have to do that, you may ask? I'm gonna have to, please put a pin on that. I will explain when we get to the specific part in the end of this episode that I'm mentioning right now.
Honestly, that's a good segue for my next point about this thing. This game is very, and I do mean very, asinine with its lines of logic and how stuff goes into one thing or another.
Well, I can explain. I can at the very least say this: if you tell Kate that we shouldn't go to the police right now because we need to look for proof first, she kind of gets frustrated at us. Because we should, look, why do you need proof? Why do you need proof and everything? Like, like basically, she gets angry at you if you don't immediately, tell her to go to the police.
I suppose, to be fair, she is not in the best mindset, so fair game there. But like you mentioned, the problem is like, well, this forces you to have to kind of go against common sense in order to get arguably the better alternative?
Yeah.
Mark?
Oh, trust me, I'll get to that when we start having Chloe-related choices.
I have a question about that scene.
Right?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why was there no tell her about the gun option? Because that was
That's a good
obviously
question.
why that was obviously why Max doesn't want to be a backup witness, especially since the principal was mentioned as well. Should be written off completely because they think Max is a liar.
You see, Shiroi, a lot of problems could be solved if Max just told anyone but Chloe about these things.
I expected that option to come up, and it never.
Nope.
Okay, here's
Gotta force
the problem with the
gotta force the story we want. Shiroi, go on.
Okay, so here's another thing though, like, this game is incredibly limited with the relationships. Like, arguably, there are a lot of other characters that Chloe could form relationships with, aside from Warren and Chloe. But no, it is incredibly laser focused, especially on the Chloe stuff.
I actually kind of like Dana, so.
I'm glad we talked.
And again, she's another character that the game could focus on more, but
Nope.
hope you enjoy.
It's good to just
Again, like
for example, even with the time travel aspect, I still find Dana's struggle with possible miscarriage thing a more interesting story than what Max is going through right now. To be even with the time travel aspect, to be honest with you, because and not to mention that the voice actress who plays Dana does a genuinely good job in sounding charismatic, at least.
Like, again, here's another issue with Chloe, aside from her just being a terrible person. the focus the story, and by extension Max, has on her
Sorry.
kind of
It's just
chokeholds
not my
what we
thing.
can actually
You can't
build
do
up
that, but
on
to
in the
discover
overall
yourself,
world
not
of this
hiding in a
game.
dorm.
Oh, sure, we
I
get
won't
to
discover
talk to other
myself
people,
avoiding
but
projectile
never
bombs
to
from
the
the
point of
roadways.
our interactions with
Thanks, anyway.
Chloe. Like, and yes, while Warren
Let's talk
is
later,
technically a
Max.
romance option, the levels of romance you actually get to
Uh-oh,
show
let me
for
put
him
this out,
are
Java.
not nearly.
Let me put this out. Ever since yesterday, Dana learned her lesson, and she now has contraceptive
At least Dana
pills.
knows how to use it.
So there you go. See, so that's the thing. Yeah. Not only would this be a much better plot to focus on, it just happens off screen, and it's very,
Don't say that out loud.
like just kind of thrown in there.
That would be
Yeah.
fun
Okay,
if
look,
skulls and
I'm not
ghosts
saying to
all
get
over
rid of
Blackwell.
Chloe. What I do feel like is that this story should have been more about Max's wacky
Victoria.
adventures with her friends, helping them become better people, or maybe making their lives worse and whatnot. The problem is that for all the fluff we get, because yeah, sadly all this stuff amounts to is mainly fluff when you get down to it, because the real picture has to do with Chloe. Because let's not forget, we've got that whole the town is going to be destroyed in 5 days thing looming over us.
Yeah.
That's the actual main plot. This stuff
hi,
is
Max.
just all
Oh, here's
filler.
Brooke. This is another character that I actually do like. Basically, she's a classmate of Warren, because Warren is in the science classes of the academy.
Gee,
And
Pedro, if I didn't know,
Since I'm a
Go on.
science nerd, I was wondering
gee,
if
Pedro,
you
if I
could
didn't know
explain
better,
it.
it's beginning to
I'm
sound like
serious.
almost every
Even
character except for our main
meteorologists can't explain
protagonist
that
and main
snow.
antagonist
Warren
are
can.
more
Did you talk to
interesting.
him yet?
basically, Shiro, if you don't go for the Warren shipping path between Max and Warren, Warren starts slowly hooking up with this girl. Because she's a science geek as well. So basically, and guess what, Shiro? Guess what? Unlike Max, like you yourself guessed that she would just go, "That's right, bro," and all that stuff about the whole black eye thing. Guess what? Brooke later on will even start talking about how fun Warren is and everything. So she actually appreciates him. So you know what? Good for you, Warren. I'm just gonna put you with a girl that actually appreciates you.
Yeah. And again, the annoying thing is that all of this stuff is technically filler for the actual main narrative. Like, honestly, part of me wonders, did we even really need to have that stupid tornado? Now, granted, something Chloe says near the end suggests that, yes, we really did, but...
It's the Makoto Shinkai problem. Like, we could just make a fun, quirky teenage movie, but we have to throw in supernatural bullshit for no reason.
And mind you, by all means, have the time travel venture in there. That's enough supernatural element here and there. You don't even have to
sure.
explain it, just... Girl develops time traveling powers, and she uses it to the best of her ability to try and better life around the college.
Oh yeah, sure. That's my thing with Your Name. Remember, because like I love the fact that the characters in Your Name can switch places. Because the reason I love that idea is because what better way for these two characters to get to know each other than living in each other's skin? And then so if the movie was just this quirky romantic comedy of the two kids exchanging bodies, and that was the only supernatural thing, that would be a lot better in my opinion. But then they throw the whole the whole interdimensional bullshit in the third act, and it's just
and
like
time travel.
It's just like calm the and I'm talking about Makoto Shinkai again. Like the point is, calm down, Shinkai, for fuck's sake, and you two don't not calm the fuck down. It's just like
Well, from what you told me, they apparently did eventually.
they
for
did, to be
you.
fair. Yeah, and okay. Tell me why it has supernatural stuff, but guess what? The supernatural powers are just there to serve the plot. They're not even all that focused on. They're more plot devices than anything. Like they should be. But anyway, let's
All right, we'll see you for the next part, folks.
see ya.